This is the Evergoods CB22, a bag that in my humble opinion is an homage to the iconic book bag design, but with a much better build quality and some evolved features. Is this bag actually better than a normal book bag?
Before we go into the review, let me just quickly show you what I pack inside the Evergoods CB22. Alright, let's start with the front little pocket here, which has plenty of space that doesn't eat up the volume of the main compartment. And what I want to pack inside here are the items that I really want to grab quickly. My extended EDC in the track folding pouch, some tissues because it is allergy season. I have my CVV bold action pen here in one of the pen slots, then a power bar. I'm not going to store my extra wallet in here because this is a pocket where people could access it much too quickly. Therefore, I'm not going to pack that in here, but that's basically it. I probably will put my car keys in here whilst I'm being in the office because I don't think anyone would grab my car keys, at least not in the office. If I would be outside walking around, I would not store my keys in here, but these are the items that I will store in this pocket. I might also store my palm rest of my keyboard in here just because I have some space, so put that in there. Then open up the main compartment. In the zipper here in the top, I just store my Bellroy Carryology pencil case, which is my boo-boo kit. I store that up here because I want to also access quickly. Now let's go to the main compartment. Oh, I already have a t-shirt in here that I rolled up. Let's put my laptop in here. This is a MacBook Pro 14-inch edition because, and I think this is one of the downsides or trade-offs of this bag, this doesn't have an external laptop compartment. You kind of need to access it from the main compartment's entry, and because once this is in here, it is kind of exposed to anything that is inside the main compartment. I do want to store it into a laptop sleeve. This is the one from Rush Faster, which is for a 15-inch MacBook Pro or a 16-inch, and it is much too big, but therefore it will give me a little bit more protection. So I store that in here. Again, that is a downside or a trade-off that you need to keep in mind, not having an extra laptop compartment and the laptop being exposed to anything that is inside the main compartment. However, it is a suspended laptop compartment, so if you drop this to the ground, the laptop won't kind of hit the ground. Next up, my favorite tech pouch. This is the Evergoods Cap 2 liters, perfect to store all my essentials like my mouse, the Logitech MX Master 1 mouse, the AOE GAN charger, which is great to charge my MacBook Pro, but also if I needed to charge my phone. All fits in here quite well, together with a couple of hubs, cables, notebook from OrbitKey, but also very important, my Samsung SSD with the project files that goes in here. So everything is very organized and protected. Not only are the items protected from the outside, but also more importantly, like these very hard items, this aluminum encasing of the GAN charger could kind of damage my laptop. So having it in a pouch keeps everything protected. Everything that is inside is protected, but everything that is surrounding it is also protected from the items inside. Next up, I have my mechanical keyboard, which is my knock-free split keyboard, 65%. I love this keyboard because it's ergonomic. You are able to kind of tent it together with the wrist guards. It is a very ergonomic and comfortable solution. And I always bring my own keyboard to wherever I work because I'm working at the workstation that is provided to me. And yeah, having your own peripherals is A, clean because I'm the only one who works on this keyboard and this mouse, and B, you just know how it works and all of your key presses are very well known to you. By the way, all of the items that I mentioned in this video are linked below. Those are affiliate links. With those you won't pay more, but you will support the channel with a small kickback of that sale. And if you do so and support this channel, thank you very much. Alright, I put this keyboard in here, and I will also put my large water bottle in here. This doesn't have an external water bottle compartment. The large water bottle will be inside here. Probably I will kind of manage to put it like this and put the water bottle here, but I don't have it here with me at the moment. Alright, so having that inside the main compartment, we still have a quick access compartment here at the top, and there I will store my DJI Pocket 3, which is the perfect place for it because I want to access that DJI Pocket quickly. And here you already can tell a little bit of me struggling because this quick access compartment here at the top is competing with the items inside the main compartment because it expands into it. So you kind of have to see how many items you have inside the main compartment. And yeah, this doesn't fit inside here whilst everything is inside the main compartment. Maybe I can, no, it doesn't fit. So yeah, because that compartment is basically just, for me at least, sometimes just a temporary space for items which I want to access quickly or store away temporarily. For example, if I'm going through the TSA check and I want to store away my wallet or my passport or my keys, I can store it inside that pocket just temporarily, but it is competing with the volume inside. So I will put my wallet anyways inside this top compartment here, but also the little tripod thingy for my DJI Pocket inside the main compartment. And that's basically everything that I will take for work.
Okay, before we continue the review of the Evergoods CB22, a quick word from today's sponsor of this video. As most of you know, I use an Android phone, but my wife uses an iPhone with a Lightning port. And both devices need to be charged, sometimes quickly in a pinch. For that, today's sponsor Veger Power has the perfect charging solution. This is the Pogo 4v1 charging station kit. On this beautiful desk cradle you have 4 portable charging kits with either USB-C or Lightning connectors. Each of them has a capacity of 5000 mAh to give you enough juice in a pinch. Each charger is small and lightweight, and while they are on the desk cradle, they are a perfect addition to your desk or, in our case, next to the front door, so that one of us can quickly grab one of the chargers on the go. Furthermore, all of you know that I love creating content or taking pictures, and my wife now has gotten into the taste to take some pictures as well, but she prefers her iPhone. For that, the Veger Snapcam is perfect for her needs. The Snapcam combines a 5000 mAh MagSafe battery with a Bluetooth camera controller. Just connect the Snapcam via the MagSafe to the back of your iPhone and start charging. Connect the grip via Bluetooth, and now your iPhone has a camera grip to make shooting stills or video much more ergonomic and enjoyable. So check out the Veger Snapcam and the Pogo 4v1 charging kit with the links in the description below. Thanks to Veger Power for sponsoring segments of this video.
Okay, I just arrived at work, and before I go into the office, let's talk a little bit about some of the things that people were criticizing in my first impressions video that you can see in the info tab above about the Evergoods CB22. First and foremost, many people were kind of noticing that this top part is a little bit, let's say, dimply, crinkly. However, you need to keep in mind when I unpacked it, this obviously was kind of crushed and wasn't worn in. It is still a little bit crinkly here at the top, but you will need to keep in mind the more items you have in this top quick access compartment in the lid, this will kind of bulk outwards and kind of flatten itself out, even if it's not that fully loaded. Yes, there is this somewhat dimply part to it. Personally, I don't mind it, but looks are subjective, right? But for me, this isn't such a big deal, especially if you consider that if you load up stuff into this top quick access compartment, then it will bulk outwards. And this is definitely something of a positive. Most of these compartments do not use up the volume capacity inside the main compartment. They bulk up outwards and have their own volume, like this pocket here in the front and this pocket here
in the top of the lid inside the main compartment. That being said, the quick access compartment here at the top, where I store my DJI Pocket 3, unfortunately expands inside the main compartment and therefore takes away some of the volume inside the main compartment. More importantly, your laptop that is inside the main compartment is somewhat blocked by this top quick access compartment if a hard item like the DJI Pocket 3 is inside this compartment. And yeah, you need to be kind of aware of that you only can get to your laptop if you take away some of the items that are in the main compartment in front of the laptop, and if there is something bigger or bulkier or hard like the Pocket 3 inside this top quick access compartment, you kind of need to wiggle out the laptop from that laptop slot. That is definitely something that you need to keep in mind. Next up, what people were kind of complaining about is the lack of an external water bottle compartment. Many of you probably know when you watched my videos, I personally don't really use these outer water bottle slots because in the past I had this one incident that was a little bit traumatic in a way, where I had an aluminium water bottle inside the outer water bottle compartment and I had to run on the Dubai airport. I believe it was Dubai or it was Jakarta, I'm not really sure, but in an area where you don't want to cause loud noises and you don't want to kind of draw attention to yourself. I was running on the airport where they had hard floors. I needed to get to my gate and I had this aluminium bottle in one of the external water bottle slots. I forgot which backpack it was. That bottle kind of slid out and dropped on the hard floor inside the airport, and it was so loud. It was like this bang. Everyone was looking at me and I was kind of like, oh no, this is an airport where everyone might be on edge anyways, and that was a little bit traumatic. I'm not sure if it's really traumatic, but that was like an incident where I was really stressed about, and that's when I kind of decided I don't want to use external water bottle pockets if I might need to run. And if you're commuting, maybe you have to run to the subway, or if you are on an airport, those pockets, I personally don't like to use them, so I don't mind. But that's not the argument why I believe it is, in air quotes, good that they did not put external water bottles on here. For me, this backpack is an homage to the iconic design of a book bag, and Evergoods took that iconic design and improved upon that design without kind of messing up that iconic look. And I feel that if they would have attached the water bottle pocket here on the sides, that look would be changed too much. And obviously that is a very subjective opinion, and I do like this iconic book bag look whilst being evolved, and I would kind of not like this bag as much if there would be a water bottle pocket on the outside, because then I could basically take a different bag. I want this classic book bag design as uncompromised as possible, and for me that is the reason why I believe Evergoods decided not to put external water bottles pockets on this. I do understand that people want that, and I do understand that those external water bottle pockets are very useful, but this is not it. I don't think this needs these outside pockets. There are so many good bags without a water bottle pockets. But if you want this bag, I think you kind of acknowledge this iconic book bag design, and you want that book bag design. As I mentioned in my first impressions, I was really giddy about this backpack looking like one of those book bags that I was never able to get myself as a kid. And now I have the opportunity to use a book bag design whilst also having the amazing build quality of an Evergoods bags and those small little touches that evolved the book bag design. The clamshell opening, this quick access top pocket, a very good top handle, and a very comfortable carry experience. So I just went grocery shopping, and while the amount of items inside my bag are not as much as my work items, you saw how many items I carry for work, and no matter how heavy or how many
many items I have inside the bag, I can tell you it is very comfortable to carry around. Obviously, it is very subjective how comfortable a bag is, depending on your body type and the body shape that you have. But for me personally, most of the Evergoods bags always have been very comfortable to carry around, and this holds true with the CB22 as well. Alright, I just got back home and unpacked all of my groceries, and I thought this would be a good time to kind of summarize all of the negatives of the CB22. And firstly, I want to address those negatives that have been voiced by the community or those people watching my first impressions video, which would be the missing water bottle slots on the sides and this dimpling part here on the top. And I think this is a good opportunity since this is empty. Let's go over this top part where it does kind of crunch into itself or gets a little bit, yeah, for the lack of a better word, looking a little bit dimply. As I said previously, if there are items in this quick access compartment here that is in the lid inside the main compartment, the items that are inside that pocket expand or take up capacity more towards the outside and don't take up too much of the volume of the main compartment. That way, this bulks out and kind of smoothens out these dimples. They are still there and they are somewhat visible, especially here in these 2 points. For me personally, I don't mind that much, but I can see that some people, especially if you're looking for that classic book bag design, will kind of say that that is not that pretty and is somewhat detracting away from the book bag look that maybe you are looking for. But I feel this still looks like the iconic book bag design and is evolved by adding that compartment here at the top in the lid and having this clamshell design. And I can kind of deal with that trade-off, having this somewhat dimply look here at the top, because I now have a pocket in the top of this whole opening compartment. For me, that is good to have, and I really don't mind this dimply look if I get that pocket. Now, that being said, I do believe that they had to remove or keep away the outer water bottle pockets, because in my very subjective opinion, if they would have added water bottle pockets here on the outside, it wouldn't look like a classic book bag design. And as I said previously, I think there are so many good bags with outer water bottle slots that you can buy instead of this one. But if you want a classic book bag design that is evolved, then I would take this one, and I happily don't have water bottle pockets because I want that book bag design. As you have seen in my what's in the bag segment of this video, I was able to fit all of my work items plus my large aluminum water bottle that I fitted inside. Still, I do totally understand if you don't want to have your water bottle inside the backpack, but again, there are so many good alternatives. I probably link a couple of them in the description below if you want to check them out. Especially there are some from Evergoods that you can use alternatively if you want a water bottle pocket outside. For example, the CH22, I think, that has water bottle pockets on the outside. Really good bag, I think, if I had the name correctly, but I will link it in the description below. Next up, the laptop compartment, and I do totally understand that is definitely a flaw of this backpack. The laptop compartment is here in the inside of the main compartment right here. And I prefer to have a laptop compartment that is accessible on the outside, because if this is fully loaded with a lot of items, for example, a cap 2 liter tech pouch and then a big water bottle inside here that is made out of aluminum, it is very difficult to get to your laptop. And if you have something here in the quick access compartment that is a little bit more bulky and hard, like for example the DJI Pocket 3 that is filming me at the moment, so this is just the case. If that is here and it's hard and you want to pull out your laptop, fortunately I have a 14-inch laptop, but if you have a 16-inch laptop, this will get really hard to pull out if you have to maneuver it around this hard item here in the top pocket. Plus maybe this is fully loaded out with a cap 2 liter here and an aluminum water bottle here. It will get very difficult. Therefore you will have to open up this clamshell opening as much as possible to get to your laptop, because all of the items here will need to kind of fall out a little bit to give you room and space to pull out that bigger laptop. That is definitely a trade-off of this design and definitely a flaw for some people. So to me, this is not a bag that you would be easily able to use for quick deployment of your laptop. For example, if you're going through the TSA check, then you will need to open that up completely. Maybe some stuff will fall out, take out the laptop. That could get a little bit cumbersome. Or if you have to go to a meeting where you want to grab your laptop quickly, for example, if this is packed out fully, then it will be a little bit difficult to grab your laptop. Definitely something to keep in mind if you consider this backpack. But yeah, I guess if you want the book bag design, then those are the trade-offs that you maybe have to deal with if you want to rock this look in an evolved iteration of the iconic book bag design.
Alright, with all of the negatives out of the way, let's talk a little bit about the positives, what I like, and my final verdict about the Evergoods CB22. Alright, now we have talked about the negatives, and while all of these negatives are totally valid, for example, you might need or want the water bottle compartments and maybe you don't like these dimples, they are all valid, but I think they come with the territory of this wanting to look like a book bag. The negative about the laptop compartment, yeah, that is definitely a trade-off that I would have loved to be changed in this version, but I do believe that I can live with it. Let's talk about the positives. Like all of the Evergoods bags, this bag is incredibly well made. All of the choices of materials, how it is laid out, I really like these compartments here on the outside or the one on the inside that all kind of expand to the outside and therefore do not take away of the volume inside the main compartment, so I can fit a lot of items inside. Even with all of my work items, I was able to fit my large water bottle inside this backpack. So that is a real good testament of how much volume you can fit inside, how many items you can pack, and with all of those items it is still very comfortable to carry around. Plus the clamshell opening compared to the top loading that most book bags have makes it so much easier to load and unload all of your items inside. Again, with all of these items inside, it is also very comfortable to carry around. The shoulder system, the harness system of most Evergoods bags, for my body frame and my height and my weight, this is very comfortable. The shoulder strap have this S curve to it, which is really good for my body type and for my chest. So I really like the comfort of this bag. There is a top handle here which makes quickly carrying this really cool. I do like side handles, but again, if there would be side handles, I would think just like with the water bottle slots on the side, it would kind of change the book bag design way too much. So I understand that there's just the top handle, but this one is very comfortable. It does somewhat stand on its own because it has a flat bottom, but depending on what you have inside and how the weight kind of shifts and distributes, especially if you have heavier items here in this front compartment, then the bag could topple over. But in theory, with this flat bottom, it can stand up on its own depending what you have inside. Continuing with this front compartment, I really like this front compartment because you can access your stuff quickly. However, this also means pickpockets can also get to the stuff that is in this pocket quickly. So I would have loved if they had like a double zipper here with some kind of mechanism to kind of loop them together. Or for example, Black Amber has these zipper pulls that you can kind of tuck into the end of the zipper, so it is much more difficult for pickpockets to get inside. For example, here in Hamburg, the main train station is pretty known for having a lot of pickpockets, so this pocket alone would be very prone for people to get your stuff out of there. There were some comments that said, hey, you could kind of use these two main compartment zippers and then kind of tie them with this zipper. That is possible. It's not as elegant or as convenient like, for example, the Black Amber method, but it would be a possibility. I would love if Evergoods would kind of think about some way to easily protect these zipper pulls from pickpockets, or have some mechanism to make that a little bit more secure. Alternatively, you have this top quick access compartment. Granted, it is also very easy to get into that pocket if someone would really want to try to pickpocket you, but I feel like that this pocket is very close to the back of my head, so it would be a little bit more riskier for a pickpocket to try to access that pocket. That being said, it is A, not very spacious, and B, it does protrude into the main compartment and kind of blocking your laptop compartment in a way, so there's definitely something to think about. Therefore, I would have wished if maybe here in the back there would be a secret pocket for stuff to hide away. That would be pretty cool. I haven't seen that on any Evergoods bags yet. Maybe they could implement that in the future. The looks, again, for me, this is a home run. I always wanted to have a book bag from Eastpak or Jansport when I was younger. When I went to school, I was never able to afford one of those book bags. I never got one, and therefore when I unpacked this in my first impressions, maybe you have seen that video, I was really giddy about this bag, and I still am, because I really like the look of this bag. And for me personally, just based on the look and all of these extra features in combination with the build quality that is very known to Evergoods, I believe this could be in my top 5 bags of 2025. But it's only March. Let's see what else is coming this year. And again, I love this look of this CB22. This is really, again, a home run in terms of design for me personally. But looks are subjective. What are your thoughts about the look of this bag, especially if you take into consideration that this is like an evolved design of the iconic book bag design? Let me know in the comment section below. And again, all of these items are linked below. Those are affiliate links. If you consider buying any of those items, maybe you want to check out the affiliate link because you won't pay more, but you will support this channel with a small kickback of that sale. And if you do so, thank you very much. Alright, that was the review of the CB22. If you want to check out a different Evergoods bag, check out the video up here. And YouTube thinks that you like the video down here. And don't forget to subscribe by clicking the button up here. I see you in the next video. Thank you very much.